Hi, there she is.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited about all that you're going to be sharing with us today.
Me too. And I'm really excited that it's you that's interviewing me.
Yay! So I'd like to introduce you first. Can we start there and then jump into some questions and just start to share? I'm
Let's do it.
excited to hear what's been going on in your life.
Let's do it.
Okay. So let me just share with everyone a little bit about K Patrice Williams. K Patrice Williams has led an exemplary career working as a public servant, community leader, and a businesswoman. Ms. Williams holds a Juris Doctorate from the San Francisco Law School, and she holds a bachelor's degrees in marketing and economics. She has held many titles, including Chief Marketing Strategist, Adjunct Professor, Director of Marketing, Mom, Wife. She's had a lot of titles. Currently, Ms. Williams serves as the CEO of BrandGov Outreach, a public affairs and community outreach firm specializing in building lasting connections between government agencies and the citizens that they serve. Working under the motto, "We meet the community where they are." Ms. Williams naturally has a natural ability to build bridges between people, which makes her the ideal person to lead this important effort. Ms. Williams is also the founder of Match to Hire, a nonprofit organization that conducts hiring events to connect local residents with employers. Match to Hire specializes in providing interviews for candidates that might otherwise be overlooked. Match to Hire's goal is to diversify the Solano County workforce, maximizing the strength of its economy. Ms. Williams is the founder of Hazels Tranquility Place also. It's a women's and children's transition home for ex-offenders who are trying to get their lives back on track. Hazels provides struggling individuals with resources they need to start new careers and thrive in the business world. Most recently, Ms. Williams ran for Solano County Supervisor. Her community-driven campaign touched thousands of people and reaffirmed her commitment to creating a better world for future generations to thrive in. K. Patrice Williams says, "It has changed my life. The experience of running for public office. I will forever be passionate and an advocate for our community needs and a cheerleader of success." After several dedicated years of public service, Ms. Williams is as passionate about her work as ever. She is committed to continually growing as a person and as a professional so that she can help institute the changes she believes are needed to create a better world for people she serves. So today she is launching a very new project called Empower Solano. And she'll share with us today about Empower Solano and just what she's been doing since she ran for Solano County Supervisor. So she has some exciting projects that she's sharing with us, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. We've talked about it as friends, and now we get to really hear what she's been working on. So tell us a little bit about what Empower Solano is.
Well, first, can I tell you that I am like sitting here trying not to cry. I don't know if you noticed. This is the first time that I've heard my new bio out loud. You know, reading it is one thing, but to hear it and then to hear my mother's name in the middle of it is pretty amazing.
Well, what I know as my sister friend, my bestie, is that your mom would be extremely proud. And I'm going to even remove would be and just say, she is proud. So this is exciting. It's an exciting time.
Okay, so I'm going to get myself together. So I tell you, the election day was March 3rd. So on March 4th, I was holding out hope that it would be all these votes that came in and elected me as county supervisor, and it didn't. And March 4th, I had to rebuild with 13 cents in my bank account and being emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially just at an all-time low. And all I could do is just kind of go to bed. And then COVID hit, and with shelter in place, well, all of you all went to bed too. We all
took a nap.
We all took a nap. So I had to rebuild from a place of just being at zero. And there's a few magical things that happened. A, I got a lot of rest. B, the reason why I picked this space is so that you all could see my garden in the background. This is the garden that my husband built for me right outside of my office. All those flowers were picked and planted by him. And this is where I spent just a lot of time just sitting for hours and for days and for probably almost a few months. So, and what I learned in that space is that I could rebuild and be better. And that this backyard is the birthplace of Empower Solano.
And I can tell you from seeing that beautiful place, social distancing, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. And I know that Earl really knows how to create beautiful spaces. So I'm sure that it's even changed since I've seen it, but it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But it's definitely a thinking space for me. And when I was thinking, okay, I've got to rebuild myself. I've got to rebuild my family. I have to connect with my family because they haven't really seen me in 2 years. I was here, but not. Mostly, in the community campaigning. And so I have to rebuild that. I started a business, a Hazels Tranquility Place, during the tail end of my election. So now I'm responsible for rebuilding a whole transitional home with women. So I have to rebuild that, and I have to build my business, Brand Gov. And I'm like, boy, I've got to kickstart everything from zero, and I can do it. And what's amazing is in these months, I have been able to rebuild it my way. I was able to rebuild marketing, Brand Gov outreach in this way that connected everything that I care about, everything that I saw in the campaign trail. I know how to get into communities in the most authentic way. And could I build a whole team that could do that? And I did. I was able to do that in this short period of time.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Brand Gov is for people who may not be completely familiar with it? What is it?
So Brand Gov is the marketing company that I neglected when I ran for office. So I just kind of closed up shop gently, finished up all my client projects, and just didn't take any more. So we did everything from website development, we did campaigns, campaign logos, and toward the end, we also did a lot of small business outreach work where we took small businesses and we helped them get certified, minority, women, small businesses get certified. And then, which was super powerful, we connected them into government contract opportunities, helped them write proposals, and connected them. So because of the work we did, Brand Gov, not only were we able to get really great contracts, but also able to show other small businesses how to get contracts. So what we had to do after my election is reimagine Brand Gov. The company needed to be reimagined. What does it look like today? And so today we are doing outreach. We've taken a few contracts. One is census, which ends September 30th. So, whew, and just a few short weeks away, and millions of dollars in community funding is on the line with the census. And if we don't get involved and take the census, and that connects emergency preparedness, dollars, transportation, affordable housing, hospitals, anything that you can think of, senior resources, education, youth, after school resources for youth. Every generation is touched through these community dollars. And today, on today's date, we still have a bit of a ways to go to get as close to 100% as possible. So that has become my one of my passions. So it's a contract, but what I've learned is I'm only going to take passion projects. I'm only going to take projects that I love and that can make a huge impact in the community. So census is one, voter registration is another one. I know you remember a few years ago, I took on voter registration, we were able as a community to increase voter registration by 10,000 2 years ago in 2018.
That's a major accomplishment.
It's huge. I couldn't believe it. It's one thing to want to do it and then put all your energy into it and then see that type of outcomes. And in 2018, Solano County had the largest turnout. It was a non-presidential year. And and I don't remember our percentage anymore, but it hadn't been that high in decades.
Well, we need you. We need you to have those kinds of results this time.
I'm at it. I'm on it.
I know you are. I know you are. That's perfect. That's great. One of the questions I have is, so BrandGov was, it was your business before you ran for office. And so my question to you is, how did BrandGov help prepare you for running your campaign?
Oh, that's a good question. So it prepared me because it allowed me to get into the community when I was doing business development. So it allowed me to really understand the landscape of Solano County and where contract opportunities were. Also, a lot of people don't realize, but I'm shy by nature, an introvert by nature.
Yes.
I love being at home under the covers. So what it forced me to do, entrepreneurship, is I had to make money. So I had to go out and get over being uncomfortable, being in new spaces. And what's amazing about it, this introvert went from and here's the cool thing too. And actually, I think you even know this. I can hide in plain sight. So I have this ability to hide in plain sight. I'll be at an event and people won't know I'm there, but I see you and I'm looking at everything else. So it also allowed me to learn owning BrandGov, and especially because I had employees, I had to learn how to shine my internal light and be seen and communicate, make an impact, and also I learned how to speak in audiences. So I took on speaking engagements and became a better speaker. That's what BrandGov did.
That's beautiful, because I watched you as you built BrandGov. So I saw how it really changed how you show up in the world. It really did. And I know that it contributed to your campaign. Okay, so there's another project that you're working on too.
Yes.
Match to Hire. Tell us a little bit about that. What is Match to Hire and how does it work?
So Match to Hire is interesting. That is another company that I put on the shelf for 2 years. So literally 2 years ago, Match to Hire, I knew that we needed this workforce development connection. I knew that we had this amazing community that needed to know about employment opportunities, and those hiring organizations, companies, they needed to look at our community differently. For example, so say Genetech is here in Solano County, and they are looking for, they have job openings, and this is what their job description is. I want you to look at Amy here and say, you know, Amy has like this passion for science. She's doing a different job, but can those skills be transferable to this Genetech job description? And it is. We have these transferable skills, and I want us to work locally. And actually, and I know why you're smiling, because we know what it's like to have to work in San Francisco. Yes. And commute 2 hours a day.
Absolutely.
So the dream was, why can't local people get local jobs? And so that was the dream. That is the mission statement. But then the campaign took over my entire life. And so this nonprofit just sat there on the shelf. So in reimagining all the companies, so Match to Hire, what Match to Hire did was it became that first arm that layered into Hazels Place and said, can we help with resume development? Can we help with expungement? Can we help connect ex-offenders with these second chance opportunities? And so that's the grassroots of Match to Hire, with it, you know, with us kind of reimagining what it looks like. And we still are trying to reimagining it, but we've got a great start. We have people at Hazels Place that are thriving. They have jobs. They've gotten promotions. We have somebody that's now the manager of her division.
Nice.
7 months ago, this lady was sitting in prison. And today, don't you make me cry.
That's an accomplishment.
Today, she's thriving.
I love it.
So so when I look at that, and, and some of that is housing, like being in a place where you can build your foundation from zero, and it's people in the house that are positive. And I'm more of I'm not a case manager, I'm a cheerleader. And, having people cheer you on, it makes a difference. And it allows you to just build your life in these really amazing way when you don't have to think about how to pay your rent.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you're really giving them a beautiful foundation, because we all know that if you have a safe place to come home to, where there is peace and you know that you're going to be safe and have everything that you need, you can thrive better. And then when you're surrounded by people who are encouraging you and cheering you on and giving you opportunities and sharing with you different ways of living and helping you make choices, it really does make a difference in your success. And I know that you had that as, growing up with two parents who offered that to you. So now for you to go and offer that to someone else is really powerful. And you talked a little bit about helping people get their record expunged and some of the legal pieces. How do you think your law degree has played in helping you be able to help the people in Hazels Home with that?
So I thought that I would be doing a ton of expungements, but as it turns out, there's this list of companies that they're second chance companies. That's your Safeway and your Home Depot, and there's a list of local companies. So I haven't had to delve into expungements at all yet. But I think what I'm going to do, I know there's an organization in Contra Costa that does it, and I just want to bring their services here. So, but in general, my law degree has just made me a more strategic thinker. My law degree opens up doors that would be closed. There are people that take meetings with me because I have a law degree, and they're just curious. Who is this lady?
Right. It's amazing how degrees can open doors sometimes.
It's a door opener.
Yeah. You may not be using it. You know, I haven't used my engineering degree in years, but it has opened some doors.
Also, I will say for you, it informs the way you think.
It does.
You're very, if you hire Dr. Monique Hunt, or you are friends with Dr. Monique Hunt, you get processed. I need to know the process. I need the vision end to end. Let's see. What do we have?
Yeah, I'll give you a plan how we're going to get there. I love it. Thank you. Okay, so that's match to hire.
Let's match to hire.
We talked about Hazels Place.
We talked about Hazels Place.
Yes, I know that has a very special place in your heart. And how did you think Hazels Place played a part in you really picking up after the campaign? Because you put so much energy into that campaign. You put your heart, your soul, your time, your resources all into the campaign. And it didn't turn out the way you had hoped, obviously, but you knew that you had to pick yourself back up. And you knew that there was a bigger calling for your life, and that there were many, many things out there that you really knew you needed to do, and you knew your soul was calling you to do that. How do you think Hazels Place played a part in helping you get back up and move again?
Because first of all, it needed energy, because I had started it during my campaign, so I wasn't fully present. And so with any business, you have to be present. You have to nurture it. Almost like the flowers that my husband is growing outside. It has to be nurtured. You just can't plant it and not water it. So when I was depressed and sad, I'm looking at this business that has my name, my mother's name on it, that I was not putting energy and nurturing. So it forced me, having Hazels Tranquility Place forced me from into movement. I believe if I didn't have it, I would have been in a sad place much longer. So it forced me. It forced me to get back out there. And what's amazing is the community got behind me too. I just put the call to action, Hazels Tranquility Place, and y'all are sending over blenders and and kitchen items and dressers and just everything. I put together a list, comforters, towels. So the amazing thing about Hazels Place is that when I look around, it's filled with furniture and items from my friends and from the community.
That must feel good.
It's
a lot
amazing.
Of beautiful energy that comes with that. For
it's
you,
amazing.
For Hazels House, and for the residents at Hazels House.
They don't know it. They just know that they get to look at a picture of my mom when they walk in, but they don't know the history. And some of the furniture in there is mine. Furniture that for the last 4 years have just been in my garage, or just I moved from this 2,400 square foot house to this little 900 square foot house. So all the furniture we have had in it, it just didn't fit. So to get that furniture and get it out and back into this home that it was the first home I've ever owned. That included some of the first furniture I ever owned with bought with my husband. That included a room that I painted for my son. I mean, it's just, there's memories in there. I tell the women that are there that this house is a nurturing house. This house brought me through the highs and lows of womanhood. You know, I moved in that house I bought the house when I was 30. It was the first asset I ever bought. I bought it by myself. My mother said, "You don't need anybody to buy a house. You buy your own house." And I wasn't married yet. I had a boyfriend who's now my husband, but she said, she's like, us women, we need to have our own stuff, our own assets. So it's the first house that I ever bought. And so that house, I had my son while I was there, who just turned 18. I saw great successes in getting in law school. I remember being in law school and not thinking I could make it through. I remember laying across the couch at night or on the floor. I would just lay out on the floor in the living room and say, I'm not going back there. This is horrible. I can't do it. And my husband would be like, you get to lay there, and then I need you to get back up and get back in there. Get back in there. Get back in the game.
You've been paying for this. You better go back.
Right. So then to graduate, I got married in that house. I have all these memories in this house, soul foods, and saw like the greatest heartbreak of my life in losing, both of my parents in that house, so I know that the energy in that house can pick you up through anything.
Well, I have this question then. So you're telling me that the residents in the house don't know the story? What's going on with that? They need to know that story. It's empowering.
Is it? They know about they know that Hazels House is named after my mother. And they get to see a picture of her when she walks in.
They need to know about that lady and how powerful she was.
I don't always tell it, and I think the reason why is because two reasons. A, if it's the right day and right time, I'll start weeping, just out weeping. And it takes me a minute to shift out of that. And I don't know if that's appropriate for intake interviews to just.
Well, it needs to be in writing. There needs to be a history of Hazels House binder for those who are there to look at, or maybe a plaque on the wall or something that tells, because I think her story is empowering as well.
Okay, I like it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Wonderful. Good. See, we came up. That's why you have that beautiful background, because it's coming into your office now.
Oh, yes.
The garden thoughts are coming into your office. The garden activity. Things are growing all the way into your office now. This is great. Okay, so we've talked about Hazels House now, but we haven't talked about Empower Solano. I want to know, I'm excited to hear more about what is that? How did you come up with it? What is it about? What is it doing? Tell us.
So the idea behind Empower Solano was, I understand what resiliency is on a personal level, especially recently. I know people of Solano, and I know we are resilient. And what do we need to be resilient? Well, everything that I pulled personally, resources. So as a business owner, I said, PPP, I'm in. Like, let me get that. Let me make sure I apply and have that foundational dollars to pay myself during the next 2.5 months. So it was really leaning on resources and calling the Solano County Small Business Development Center. So Solano Small Business Development Center, we have that here. So even though I worked for them as a consultant and talking to and consulting small businesses for a year or two, years ago, I said, I need my own consultant. So I called them and I said, give me somebody good. And I have my own consultant that works with me for free. And they help me roadmap my way to where I am today. So I was thinking, I was like, Solano County residents, we're resilient. We need to know what resources are out there, what information is out there, so that we can build our foundation and then thrive not only through this period, but beyond, like reimagining our own lives and then beyond. And so that's the anchor of Empower Solano, but the power of Empower Solano is connecting with other organizations to reach communities. For example, I so when I posted today that we're going to do this launch,
right,
I immediately got a text from community partners. One, another chapter ran by Natalie, one of my favorite people, and she was like, I don't know what you're up to, but I'm in. And by the way, I'm doing a diaper drive-through. I'm doing this and that. Will you partner with me to get out information about the census and voter registration and an emergency and being prepared in an emergency? That's it. That's our power. We just did a census caravan last month, and I did a call to action through Empower Solano, and I said, will you partner with me to reach 120,000 people in Solano County? If you will you be on this conference call and we will come together with a plan? I'm looking at a Zoom conference call toward the end, and it has 52 people on it. From all types of organizations, over 17. That's the power. That's the power of us. That is the power of Empower Solano. We can get anything done together.
I love that. And it sounds like sometimes it just takes that one person to say, hey, let's come together and do this, to bring people together, and then new projects and ideas and different things show up after that. What's next?
Oh my goodness. Things are already showing up just by putting myself out there in this way, where I really have full right to still be sad and to still be in the bed and eating bonbons, but
that sounds like fun. Of course, I prefer your fried chicken over the bonbons, but whatever. Your fried chicken and Earl's waffles.
Okay.
I mean French toast, not waffles. His French toast.
French toast. It's your waffles.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Anyway. And cornbread that you won't make.
Make the chicken and the cornbread will show up.
Oh, okay, that's something to think about. Mm-hmm. All right. So what were we saying? I got all involved in chicken, rosemary chicken.
By the way, my dad liked your fried chicken too.
I know. I know.
Okay. Well, we were talking about the next, kind of what's next, and
yes,
how the new ideas and the creativity is flowing. And you were saying that there are already new things that are coming.
Already. So I hired someone that I call the holder of my dreams. And she's responsible for putting them into action. And they already are flowing. For example, I know there needs to be more Hazels places, and maybe even an Andrews place.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're looking for more houses so that we can build more thriving transitional homes. Also, I know that, so I I have a transitional home. So it's supposed to be a place where people can move into their own apartments. It's communal living. So people need to live in their own apartments, and maybe in those apartments they'll have a few people, but there needs to be more affordable housing.
Yes.
So there's something I'm looking for, and that can look unique. That could be lofts. That can be home work lofts for other entrepreneurs, but it needs to be affordable. There's also a need for, I think I would like to have, here's my dream. And you know what? And I'm open about my dream because I believe that's how you bring it to you.
That's how you manifest your dream. You know, there's so many people that feel, oh, don't share your dream. Don't share your dream. Yeah, there's dream killers out there. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
But I believe that the people who want to support you are much more powerful than any dream killer could ever be.
I think so too.
I truly believe that by sharing the vision, it helps you to manifest what it is that you want. So share, tell us.
Okay. So, and by the way, I wake up in the minute because you've helped me with my meditation practices. So I wake up in the morning and I'm still and being in breath, and I have the most amazing, vivid dreams, visions of this. And I woke up with this vision a few weeks ago and posted it on Facebook. But I believe that I am supposed to have this huge kind of industrial space with maybe a backyard, but in this industrial space, so people can have enough space between them. I feel like one part of the space is supposed to be kind of a thrift store, and then another part of the space is supposed to be kind of an entrepreneurial hub, and we're learning how to start a business. So for example, say this hub in this entrepreneur group, we're like, you know what? We're going to create a company that makes and sells candles. Great. From end to end. Let's come up with a candle formula. Let's design the logo. Let's design the product branding. And in the thrift store is the area, the product area for these products. So literally we can track the sales, we can do marketing. It just becomes this entrepreneurial hub. And then we have another room that is a workforce development hub. And that's where we learn new skills. That's how we learn how to become great at interviews. That's how we learn how to connect to these job opportunities that before they go out into the universe. They come to us first. So that's my dream.
That's beautiful. I can see
so
that.
Clear. Me too. It's so vivid. Yeah. It's so vivid.
Powerful.
And let me tell you about something else. And this will be the last dream because I'll keep talking. The other is, I believe I have one foot in the nonprofit world and one in the for-profit world. So in the nonprofit world, I think there should be a nonprofit hub. About a year or two ago, I went into a elementary school in Sacramento. And it was converted. It was no longer an elementary school. It's now a nonprofit hub. So all of these nonprofits are there energetically feeding off of each other. I remember we were there and we came up with this great idea, and I didn't realize it was a nonprofit hub. I just didn't know where I just knew I was in the space. And I don't know what even we were talking about, but they were like, that's a great idea. What do you think about this nonprofit, these three nonprofits being involved? And we were like, yeah. It was like, okay, drink some water. I'll be back in a few minutes. The guy goes and gets the three other nonprofit EDs. Bam, they sign off and it's done.
All right there.
We need to do that here in Solano County.
Absolutely. You need to go ahead and get that going.
How many jobs can I have? Like that.
Well, that's what hiring people.
Hiring people.
Which is what you're doing. You are at a point where you are creating opportunities for people to get started. A quick story. I have a cousin who started a nonprofit years ago, and every time one of his children graduated from college, he gave them an opportunity to create a program for their nonprofit. So each of them has something that has been created as a result of their passion and their interest. And they've gone on, of course, to be able to employ people. So I see you being able to do really the same thing. As you come up with these ideas, there will be people that will be able to match their skills to your ideas and bring it all together and give them opportunities to create something and be a part of something big. And that's what you're doing.
I see it.
I see it for you. I look forward to being right there and watching it all unfold. So this is absolutely spectacular. Yeah. So what else would you like to share with everyone about, all the things that you're doing, maybe even a little bit about how they can get involved and how they can begin to work with you, for you, around you, together, however you want to do it?
Well, I'm going to post a Google form, a link with this video and also on the empowersolano.com website. And that is how you're going to be able to reach me and to join in our mission and passion and vision. Also, I would like anyone that has information, powerful information that they would like to share with the community, to send it to us as well. So when you go to empowersolano.com, we'll be able to capture that information as well. And you are going to be able to expect a phone call, a contact from either myself or someone on my team within 48 hours.
Nice. Are there particular programs that you're interested in knowing about, or is it pretty much anything that empowers people that you'd like to hear about?
Anything that empowers people. Any program that empowers people. It could be events. It could be maybe a video introduction of that program. It could be literally, I almost don't want to say anymore because I don't want to limit it. I think someone's going to listen to this and they're going to be like, oh, I'm doing something in education. I need to share that. Or I need to do something very unique with transportation. I'm doing a contest where we want ideas surrounding how to get more people involved in transportation. It could be literally anything that lifts and touching any group. So touching seniors, touching youth, touching our homeless. It really is about resiliency of us all.
Wow. Well, this has been really fun. you and I talk quite frequently, excuse me, and we text back and forth, and I hear about what's going on and you're telling me, but just to hear it all in one video, I guess you could say, just in one conversation is pretty exciting. And I am really honored to be able to come and join you for this video and for this launch of Empower Solano, and to just be a part of your dream and to support you and encourage you on this journey. And I look forward to seeing everything that unfolds. And I'm so proud of you. And there's no other words that I can share around that. You know how much I love you. And I just wish the best for you and all of the projects that you're doing. I know that your mom and dad are watching you and are guiding you and offering you support, along with all of your other ancestors, your aunts. They're all there. What else? Is there anything else that you would like people to know before we close?
Well, I just want to thank you. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your sisterhood. Thank you for sharing your mother with me. I was a stingy daughter, and I don't know if I would be sharing my mother if it was the other, she was on the other foot, stingy. But you just like, you just share everything with me, and I appreciate it. I feel like because we're friends, I'm a better person. I learned very early in our friendship how to understand what intuition is and how to count on it and lean on it. And I've honed that skill. And there's things that come to me and I'm like, I just go with it. And I've learned and honed in on that because of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love you dearly.
I love you. I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So this was fun, and we'll have to do it again.
We'll have to do it again. Thank you for getting me together and saying, I need to interview you.
Well, and I really wanted to do this because I would hear bits and pieces of what you're doing, and it just felt like everything needed to be brought together so people could hear about the different things that you're doing and what you're creating, so they could get on board and support you and see where they may be able to not only help, but maybe they can benefit from the things that you're doing. And I just felt like that needed to get out. And I was like, okay, let me just offer to interview you and get you out there. So we did it. We've been planning on this for a while. So we finally had schedules that matched and everything. A little computer glitch or technology glitch, but we got it.
We got it.
Here, you have launched officially.
Launched.
Solano. Official.
Thank you. Mwah.
Mwah to you too. Bye.